Hello everybody, welcome back to the Landedkiller show. Today I'll be reviewing HMS Nelson because apparently it's coming back into the game after such a long time. The method for acquiring it will be through the auction, as you can see here. Let's play the little animation again, shall we? Might as well. Not the animation I was looking for. They had one where Nelson was coming into the dockyard or whatever. That's fine. That's good enough. As for what currency will be available for, quick check of the World of Warships website does not yield any results yet. There's no indication of what currency Nelson will be available for. So it could be a high amount of doubloons or coal or credits at this point. Further ado, let's get into our armor layout for Nelson. Pretty sturdy 26mm bow here. Armor bell is 32mm. Let's down to 2 so you can just see what I'm doing here. 32 on the side, 32 on the side. Your turret face is 406, 279, 229. Top is forward, back is 129. All this middle section is 32. Superstructure is 16. Conning tower is 305, 127 for a conning tower. Back of the deck. Let's take a look at that. We're looking at 26mm. 6, and then we have a bottom armor portion of 40. Nelson was a ship that was built during the time of the Washington Naval Treaty. So that's why it looks so different, because it's a combination of a couple different designs. So you got this deck right here is 165, and the portion underneath the superstructure is 95. We get our armor bell 330 and 356 here. Torpedo bulkhead 38mm. 152 towards the front. 305. The 305 on our barbette 356. 356 the bottom section 340. 356. Pacific warship is 32. 254. Our actual citadel is right here. So we're sitting just a little bit above the say just a little. So aim for Nelson around here in order to take it down effectively, or a little above the water line. Nelson has a sister ship, HMS Rodney. It's not in the game yet for whatever reason. Maybe in the future they'll pull off some gimmick where instead of zombie heal it has like MRB, beam battery reload booster or something like that. Survivability is 59,400 hit points. Torpedo damage protection 19%. Artillery is pretty strong at 3x3 406mm guns. 30-second reload. 45-second turn time. 69,000 damage for high explosive, or 1,200 for armor piercing. Secondaries, nothing really to write home about. Got a range of 5.9, reload time 5 seconds, 20s, 152s, 12 seconds, range 5.9. Main battery firing range is 18.2 kilometers. Has 2 attack flights for its attack flights for against the subs. The aircraft hit points is 2,000, 2 bombs and hit points. 2 bombs in the payload, maximum bomb damage 2,300, maximum range 8 kilometers, reload time 37 seconds. AA defense is kind of all over. We got some more Kellians here, a bunch of them, 39, 20. This was because the ship was built during the interwar period, kind of. So its AA is kind of a little bit older. 6x8 Vickers mount here. 6x1. These guys here. Your AA will help you against some of the planes, but you're going to want to team up with a teammate because you're in the middle of the pack. You're nowhere near Hood's levels. Just a little bit outside of skip bomber range with this. The 5.2 kilometers, but the damage is really low. 260 for shell explosions, 35% reinforcement. Try to team up with cruisers when you're going in for a charge. Protects you is mainly your zombie heal. Your speed is around 24 knots. Turn circle radius is 750 meters. Rudder shift time 14.9 seconds. I'm gonna double check. Yeah, that's the base. Activability by sea. Goes from 14.8 after firing in smoke to up to 18.2 after firing a gun shell. By sub, 0 to 9.9. By air, 12.9 to 18 kilometer, basically depending on the circumstance. 2.0, 14.8 after firing a gun shell. This ship used to be a free experience ship available for 350,000 free experience. So I'm not sure how they're going to offer the ship when they put it up for auction. Skill points, they got emergency repair specialist, priority target, adrenaline rush, emergency repair expert. We're just going to throw in grease the gears, kind of help with that turret rotation a little bit. Equipment wise, I'm running main armaments 1, damage control system mod 1, aiming systems mod 1, and propulsion modification 1 to get the ship up to speed faster. Honestly, you probably want to go for damage control system mod 2 if you really want to spec out survivability a bit more. Steering gears mod 1, kind of somewhat of a viable choice, I would say. This, not a viable choice. Propulsion modification when I put in because it takes so long to get the ship up to power because you just get crippled so easily, especially in the rudder for this ship in particular. I have mixed feelings about Nelson being back in an auction sort of setting, but I suppose it's a lot better than them sticking it in the research bureau for research points at the end of the day. And as of now, I don't know if it's going to be for coal, free experience, or credits, or doubloons. If they really want to max out the profits, they're probably going to make it available for a high amount of coal or doubloons, is my guess. Again, like I said, we don't know because in the past, usually we would have an announcement like right before they put something up for the armory saying, hey, this is what it's going to be available for, blah, blah, blah. Or a video or something, but we haven't gotten that, I assume, because it got delayed or Lesta was like, we're not going to do it since you decided to cut times with us, blah, blah, blah. I think we shouldn't forget that fact at the end of the day, but a lot of folks just want to keep trucking on as if things are normal and there's no disruption. There is significant disruption, I must say. There will be, we're just not seeing it yet. So I think what we really need to ask ourselves is, when is this really going to hit, this disruption? I'm going to guess around patches 11.4 and 11.5, because 11.3 is mostly done from what I understand. I went in for a third round of public tests not too long ago, so it's basically done at this point. So we're just going to have to see where everything goes at the end of the day. But yeah, what are Nelson's strengths? The zombie heal, for one, it can heal up a lot of damage from citadel hits or turret hits, all of that. It can heal it very fast. The repair party is fast on it. Do you have anything special going off the shells? Not really. Your armor piercing is going to hit pretty hard. That's about it. This is kind of designed more like a mixture of two classes. I think it's the G3 and one other class. because the Washington Naval Treaty of 1922, I want to say, limited how big battleships could be built, pretty much. So they had to turn a lot of hulls into carriers or scrap them, and then they had to get their biggest guns possible on the platform while also sacrificing some armor and some other things. Freeboard on these ships was pretty high, honestly, and it was really hard to steer them from what I've read. And you could feel the vibrations every time the guns fired. Like, literally the windows had to be reinforced on Nelson because the windows would just be blasted out sometimes. This ship also had torpedo launchers during the war. It had one located underneath the bow section here. Obviously, Wargaming didn't implement that in the game, as that would have been really ineffective. A lot of torpedo armaments were abandoned on a lot of ships historically because it would cause the ships to end up exploding. You'd have an explosion of flame pretty much from the torpedo mounts. The whole ship wouldn't sit there and blow up per se, but you'd have a lot of fire pretty much going on at that point. Just trying to get some good targets to hit here. It seems I got some ships in front of me I can hit, but obviously not all the shells are going to hit, you know, because the shell grouping is all over the place with battleships in general. The layout's a little bit better than Azumo. Azumo's got the back turret turned backwards. And even the same on Biahe. I think I forgot to mention that in my Biahe review some time ago. Yeah. Obviously the most obvious thing I could have done was just come up with FR25 first impressions video, blah blah blah. But I'll probably do that later. At this point I'm trying to focus on stuff that I know well and I've actually played sometimes, you know. But with them putting Nelson back into the auction, I think it's pretty much clear at this point that they're going to introduce Musashi and all the other higher tier premiums probably the same way as through the auction or through a special limited time event like they did with Missouri. I honestly wonder what's going to happen in the Missouri mission at this point with Lusta no longer being the main developers and all that. At least that's what I'm assuming is going to happen anyway. We don't really have any concrete information yet. Yeah. I'm just going to keep taking damage so you guys can see how powerful this heal is. Zombie heal is just super powerful on this ship. I'll turn on. Kind of get the gist of it. Fills the ship pretty fast. Fire doesn't really do anything to the ship. Honestly, at this point, I'm just kind of waiting to see how everything plays out with Lusta and Wargaming. Don't really know at this point, and we're still kept in the dark once again as to what they're doing. So, it's probably going to be a little while before we really know what's going to happen. Like I said, if you're dealing with carriers, make sure you partner up with the cruiser. That way you're able to mitigate some of the damage if possible. Hood's better at deflecting aircraft than Nelson is by far. Duke of York's just got its Hydra thing going on, honestly. And Yukon sitting out there is a semi-British ship, but not quite. Yeah. Nelson's still a solid 9 out of 10 for me. It's worn a little bit because of the aircraft. It's harder to get aircraft shot down with it, but everything else pretty much good about it. No real complaints for me about it. Solid ship overall. And as for what it will be available for when it comes up for auction, I don't know. I'm gonna say it's probably gonna be coal or doubloons. That's what past auctions have been, is usually doubloons for the ship and then coal for the other items. So yeah, it's really strange not to have a promotional video for the auction or article, I must say. But I look forward to seeing you all in the next video, and I thank you for watching this video. Thank you for your time today. Have a great one.